Hello everyone, Luke Smith here, and welcome to another Encyclopedia Dramatica reading. This one is a sequel to one I did in the middle of January. This is of a person I did, and this is the next version of that one, because after he became a she, or pretended he's a shit. It is very confusing about these lolcows. So yeah, there is a bit that I'm gonna have to shift the screen to the side, because there is a nudie picture, and I don't like showing that sort of thing on YouTube because it's against terms of service. So this is gonna be of Ahuviya Harel. I don't know, but the main person that I did talk about was ADF Fundswaldia, but this is the alter ego of that one. So that's what they look like right there, charming chap. So let us have a bit of a read. Usually when some people get an ED article on here, they're quick to either remove themselves from whatever got trolls attracted to them in the first place, or leave the internet forever. However, such was not the case for ADF Fiunzi, aka Influenza, power word Philip V. Haskins Dilalki. Instead of attempting to live as a Norp, ADF continued to drama whore on the interwebs. When the gay Democrat Hispanic Wiccan chick got stale, he looked for other edgy subcultures to shove himself in. Started claiming to be a woman and christening himself Ahuviya Harel. In the process, quite rarely do you witness the transformation from lolcow calf to full-blown lolcow. Alright, this is when I get to shift the screen over a bit so you you don't see it. And I'll just scroll down a bit more. Changes. Okay, I can put it back now because the offensive image is gone now, so I can bring it back. There you go. ADF, feeling completely dissatisfied that straight women and gay males would rather take cyanide than have sex with him, decided that transgender confused women could be the perfect prey. It all started when he first put on his Sakura cosplay and began identifying as a transgender lesbian. Do they exist? I don't really know. And then changed it to straight queer transgender. What the fuck, idiots. When he started taking hormones and even changed his name from Philip to Ahuviya Harel. He also identified himself as a Jew on account of his obsession on everything Israel. Well, trust me, the Palestinians will be after him then. And need for some sweet oppression. His last name is Jewish. Another change happened as a result of watching too much hentelia, that's a type of hentai I'm pretty sure, and began identifying as a communist, complete with China and Nazi cosplay. I don't know what's going on with my voice, but I think I've got another cold coming on. It's annoying. He has already began fapping to everything Russian or Chinese. This includes making sloppy drawings of communism uniforms, Vladimir Putin, and his own batshit insane dick girl, Communist Mary Sue. He also tried to force badly translated Russian and German words into his drawings and blogs. Of course, the commie masturbation didn't stop there. He also claimed himself to be a Prussian and Russian. Fuck's Prussian. I have heard that word before. I've got no idea what it means. Solely because of his two favourite characters on Helenia. Some argue that the biggest change was ADF moving out of his mother's house. ADF's mum acted as a small voice of sanity within his life, but screw concerned. Loving family, right? After destroying all of his baby photos and punching his poor, distraught mother, ADF moved out of his house, out of her house and into a den of a lesbian couple. ADF became more insane after distancing himself from her. All of these events contributed to ADF becoming what he is today, which of course completely fucked up. And he's on pills. He's on a lot of pills. Okay, what's this? This is a new one. Cosplay Magic. That's a video. Okay, The Perfect Storm. Obviously, you're one of those fags. How ADF now dismisses any form of criticism on his DA page. Two websites in particular focuses on his antics. 789 Clan and ED. Before the downfall of old ED, ADF's ED article was being updated by the ADF trolls. At the same time, Chris Clan followers found out about ADF through his troll shielding of the internet's favourite lolcow, Chris Clan. His troll shielding included splurging on the quickie about Sasuke and uploading gigantic pictures of himself on the quickie, all while acting superior to Chris. 789 Clan began making threads dedicated to discussing his antics and even making a quickie-ish Wikipedia. ADF shit his pants when he found out about 789 Clan and the Wikia. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be wiki. As an attempt of damage control, he deleted his ADF account and signed up as Viganzra de Saskia shortly afterwards. Of course, he would not quietly let the trolls declare victory over his fallen account. Oh no, not he. ADF went onto the site and doxed himself, declaring that his roommates would beat up any trolls who dared to go to his house. Yes, that's one way of doing it. That's basically his dox. Well, not really his dox, but yeah, because a quote about him doxing himself. Failbook drama. Let me just quickly check my recording levels. That's fine. Okay. Failbook drama. Still anally destroyed over the loss of his DeviantArt account, he holed himself onto his Facebook page, where he thought he was safe, but ADF was not safe. He had quickly made his Facebook page private after invading trolls began screen capping his posts. That is why you got to put it on as friends only. You can't do it as worldwide because it's public. If you do that, you got to do it on friends only. However, he realised that all of the strange people he friend listed. Oh, he did have them as friends. Why would he add like random people as his friend? It was confused me. He might be the very same trolls that were showing screen caps of his Facebook posts to other hungry trolls. The realization fed into his paranoia that everyone in his Facebook page could be a troll. He even began screen capping suspicious troll posts on 789 Clan and posting them with the caption, "The KGB is watching you." That's the Communist Party of Russia, I believe. All of this came from ADF announcing that he was going on a spy hunt and eliminate the 789 spies from his Facebook page. Yeah, spy cringe. This led to a grand total of 6 people, including a couple of female cosplayers, being listed on a separate group of whose settings he had changed. Out of all of the people he had accused of being trolls, none of them turned out to be the ones he was screen capping on Facebook. Just like innocent people he was screen capping. This great defriending lasted until he was scared of the realization of the retaliation from the trolls and let the people he had into custody go. Two notable victims of the paranoia were a bisexual communist male and a young homosexual male who lived in several states away from ADF and told him off multiple times. ADF constantly started problems with the two and believed them to be trolls. He had accused one of them of being the authors of the ED article. After 3 months of trying and failing to get both of them to be his dobes, a special term for lover, both parties got sick of ADF and ADF blocked them from their Facebook. Homeless social justice false activism. That's a mouthful. After getting kicked out of his roommate's house when his roomies caught wind of ADF doxing himself and their address online. So in other words, it wasn't his own house that he doxed. He was gonna say his mate's house. Okay, fucking hell. Yeah, you shouldn't dox like random people's property like that. It will lead to a lot of trouble on their end. ADF quickly became a crazy grease mooch who rarely showered. Of course, he was just another restless, crazy homeless attention whore, wanting to garner as much attention for himself as he possibly could. This led to him getting involved in the Occupy protests. ADF is no stranger to false activism. He has been known to show up at any gay pride parades dressed as Naruto, grab scaring event goers who are unfortunate to see the £250 tequila in the bad wig. During his time in the support group for transgenders, ADF, along with other batshit insane trannies including Robert Rain Stiles, attempted a takeover. So much for supporting your fellow trannies. ADF flailed about the Occupy Philly in a false communist uniform and the Chinese flag. Like most of the Occupy protesters, ADF contributed little to the movement and used the place as a camping area and a spot to mooch free food. This time ADF has gotten quite a bit of attention, but not the sweet, pitying kind of which he fervently hoped. Nay, ADF had become, in the liberals' eyes, his fellow unwashed hippie commies, a freak show at the event. One video in particular that went viral showed ADF bitching about being fired and denying the war crimes committed by the most honourable Chairman Mao, along with a guest appearance by Rainbow Hippie Jesus. Ooh. That's his let me just get it up in a new tab or whatever later. This is Hippie Jesus, I'm assuming. Look at his long hair. Hippie Jesus. And this was his shitty Naruto cosplay right there. He has got really bad gums, as you can see. Really fucking terrible. I bet he stinks. What's this say? Queer socialist. Many for LGBT teens. Time for equality. How many more broken promises from politicians is it? Stop bitching. We've had enough. A revolution now. And he's got his website right there. How many times? How many more people lose their jobs because of their sexual orientation and or gender identity? How many under this obsession? Start a revolution. Homophobia, biophobia and transphobia has got to go. Ooh. Well, guess what? It's 2024 and more companies are hiring gay people and bi people and black people and Asian people and transsexual people and tomboys and everything like that. It's like not all companies are bad nowadays. Come on now. This video was the subject of a couple of conservative talk show hosts who used it in a show to dismiss Occupy protests as leftards communists. Indeed, ADF gave both Glenn Black and Alec Jones something to laugh at, making them look sane in comparison. It will be a great accomplishment if the circumstances weren't so fucking tragic. Occupy Portland. Please don't get me started on Occupy Portland, blah 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 blah. Although Occupy Portland consisted of similar edgy hipsters complaining about their liberal arts degree not being respected by the society, ADF was not as tolerated there as he was in Occupy Philly. Believe it or not, ADF's mooching, backstabbing of its fellow protesters and/or self-centered behaviour was not the reason why he was attracted to them as a feminazi in a love-shy forum. It was due to ADF being called out on lying to the group. To be fair, like, the Occupy protests, are they the guys in the Guy Fawkes masks? Or was that something else? I have heard of the protests, but I completely forgot what they're all about. It all started when ADF and some guy got into the IRL version of a Pulse/internet fight. Instead of two political nerds pounding on their keyboards for half an hour, it consisted of the anonymous man hitting ADF in the eye after arguing with him in an Arnicized cafe. As a result, the guy was B, and from the cafe was ADF left with a black eye and broken pride. Well, to be fair, probably fucking deserved it. Oh dear. Okay, ADF of course was not satisfied by the end result and demanded that Occupy Portland to do more about the situation, including workshops in the moment that bend over backwards to deal with the tranny problems. However, ADF made the mistake of lying about not provoking his attacker to the same people that he was demanding from, and was caught up on in his lies. The people at the movement told him off, and ADF became disenchanted from the movement and argued with the other protesters in the Occupy Portland Facebook page. Ignoring this important life lesson and honesty, ADF went onto his DeviantArt page and continued to lie about the situation. Instead of one guy punching him, he had originally informed members of the Occupy Portland, and his opponent turned into four guys as ADF continued his transparent ruse. Despite claiming that he wouldn't help lead the movement any further, he continued to mooch off of it whenever he could. When came ADF's infamous paranoia reeling its unmedicated head yet again, he blamed ET for attacking the cafe. His reasoning: the guy whom attacked him was supposedly claimed that he knew what he did at Occupy Philly. This might have been true if ADF hadn't appeared at several Occupy Philly related videos, including the year-old video that went viral on YouTube. If one scrapes the surface of ADF's claims, they would see that the article was written the day after the attack, therefore had nothing to do with ADF getting his arse whooped. Still feeling the burn after being rejected from the movement, ADF took some great advice from his ex-friend Rob. He took a shit on the steps of the Occupy Portland building and he bragged about it on Facebook. That's a crime. I'm pretty sure that's a crime, especially when you claim you did it and there's proof that you did it. Despite his best efforts, the people at Occupy Portland took notice of it and it was just another day in Portland after all. Yeah, Portland's a shithole anyway. It's basically one of the biggest toilets in America, a bit like Baltimore. Chris versus Jack Thaddeus. Here we go, something that we all know and love. ADF became known as something else to most of Chris Can's followers. Out of the blue, Chris Can accused him of being Jack Thaddeus, one of his trolls that made him hump his PS3. Of course, ADF jumped at the chance of making a video without realising that something was amiss. ADF made a boring video trying to get Chris to move out of his parents' house and move to Philly. He didn't edit out the part where he farted on camera. Fucking hell. Chris made one last video refuting ADF's claims. Chris stopped responding to ADF due to the death of his father. Rest in peace, Bob. A couple of days after Chris's father's passing, ADF made a video where he panted while walking down the street, troll shielding Chris along with his good friend Robert Stiles. Styles is Tiles in there. Whatever grotesque mentions of Bob's death were missing from the video were mentioned in the next video, where he walked into a graveyard, presumably looking for his next robe. Not caring that Chris was still mourning his father, ADF mocked Chris and his mother, stating that Barbara was the next to die. To this day, Chris hasn't seen the video. However, the video is still used as an example as ADF's blatant disregard for others. Well, to be fair, yeah, in that sense, ADF was in the wrong for basically making fun of Chris and his father's passing, and even wishing death on his mother. So yeah, Chris was still mourning, and ADF basically took the piss out of him, because ADF's an arsehole in that sense. But Chris is still the biggest arsehole, because he buggered his mother. So yeah, he should still be in jail for that, but never mind. Behind the scenes, it probably comes to no surprise that ADF's troll shielded Chris a lot behind the scenes. Some of which of the quickie might consider a classic example of A-logging. Some of it started off small, such as posting a picture of a pickle jar, submitting a shit tier drawing of a solitary villain, joining the quickie, and targeting Chris on Twitter. However, one fine day, ADF decided that pictures of pickles and calling Chris the most sexiest man in America wasn't enough. Despite the fact that ADF also had troubles with trolls and whined about how trolls were cyber terrorists who would try and kill him if he let his guard down, he decided to do the same thing when he claimed his own trolls were guilty of. He posted a video of a missile stating that he wanted to hit Chris's house with it. Fucking, that's a terrorist threat right there. When it was quickly pointed out that ADF wasn't acting any better than Chris, ADF quickly deleted the post in hopes that his post would be forgotten. Trust me, that would have been screenshotted. And there you go, there's a screenshot of it right there on the side. On a lighter note, here's some of the rest of ADF's troll shielding shenanigans. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. ADF and love, here we go. As was mentioned before, ADF would find willing victims in women who were as gender confused as he. Interestingly enough, these women do share other things in common, such as being dark-haired and heavy-set. In other words, ADF wanted to date himself in a female form, so he went towards women who looked similar to him. His first girlfriend was a genderqueer middle-aged woman who spent a small percentage of her trust fund on ADF for an expensive phone and $100 at a time to spend on cosplay. For him to spend on cosplay, ADF kept going out with her, to keep getting part of her trust fund. In other words, stealing her money. In other words, and even had sex with her. Okay, so he got lucky for some reason. However, it was not enough to keep ADF happy though. He resented her over a small issue that they had over children. He hated children and publicly wished that he could fuck one that looked like Saskia. Yeah, to be fair, he does give off a bit Nazi vibes. He wanted children before he went into the menopause. Instead of doing something sensible or realising that female hormones has ruined any chance of he had having children, he argued with her constantly online and even threatened to commit suicide. When all of these come to a boiling point, he punched her in a bookstore. Yep, that's woman abuse right there. What made the situation ironic is that he hated his own father for doing the same thing. Another ironic thing is that he opened up about his hatred against cisgender, straight, bisexual and homosexual men, and would even make violent statements violent statements about what he would do to them in a particular situation. Although he hasn't acted on these violent wishes towards men, was probably a good thing. His next willing victims on his list were trans men who he met online. The first one was an 18-year-old Weibo cosplayer, whom after a couple of weeks of dating has announced that he was engaged to the girl. However, due to his inability to separate clan drama from his relationship with her, he split up. His relationship with the next one went a bit quicker than the previous one. When he introduced the internet to her, he immediately described them both as married. Who is ADF's blushing new bride? She's none other than a jailbait Satanist who hauls herself out on Reddit. ADF has moved from Philly to Portland to get with her, and even have big plans of holding a satanic wedding in someone's basement, and he even have Marilyn Manson to be the priest who weds them. Trust me, that'll cost you a fortune, something like that. Only after a year of being together, ADF split up with her, stating that she doesn't understand that he needs independence and mutual aid. Oh, that lasted long, didn't it? Probably saved him some money as well. Between lovers, when he can't get anyone to have cyber sex with him, he relies on his Saskia plushie with a SPH to keep him company at night. Jesus Christ. He's a dull fucker, in other words. Despite dismissing 9/11 as a... Did I miss a fucking thing right there? No, oh yeah. Daddy R Day. Okay, I'm not reading that R word. Despite dismissing 9/11 as American nationalism or whatever, he demanded international attention for his dad R-ing him. Whenever true or not, ADF shoehorned the accusation into everything, related or not, that he possibly could. Even the statements about his Oedipus complex wasn't obvious enough. He wanted to off his own father. However, he is hell-bent on ruining his father's life before he gets an unlikely chance to off the old buggerer. When the trolls found out about the Facebook page ADF created to whine about being R-ed by his own father, they flooded it with cosplay photos of ADF pinning down the 16-year-old girl cosplayers in his China outfit, and other embarrassing photos of him that are on the internet. When ADF discovered the flooding, it made him seethe with rage, and called the trolls who violated his previous event Nazis. He eventually deleted the event in anger to the fact that the dang dirty trolls got him again. The 4th of July 1997, this is a long time ago, this bit. It wasn't enough that ADF made a Facebook event about his own father. He had written about him on DeviantArt due to ADF having less talent than Tara Gillespie. When it comes to writing a serious prose, he read like a badly written Shotacon fan fiction. Here is it for your viewing pleasure. Well, guess what? We're not going to read that, but I'm guessing it's like a fan fiction that you made. Okay. Trolls and whores. To say that ADF has never gotten over the fact that Kansas and Crane forgot about him is an understatement. Out of the blue, ADF began threatening them because of the cheap gun he obtained, accusing them of siding with one of the trolls. He also threatened to throw her out in the Philly roundhouse for trolling him. Whining, he whined and delved into calling the three Polish and German whores, because it's the strongest word he had to call them. Okay. Needless to say, the DA admins were contacted over ADF's threats and banned him. Why can't I say ban in this group? Why you have to make it sound like that? And ban him for a month on the evening. After his ban, there we go, he said it there. After his ban ended, ADF seemed to have completely forgotten about the incident. The insanity continues. Some believe that ADF had a good chance to flounce after his and Bob's, mostly Bob's, failed attempts to get the trolls arrested, because the cops couldn't give a shit about internet trolls. That's true. ADF has a perfect chance of getting his life back in order, since he was moving into a city where only his then girlfriend knew his name, and the trolls shifting their focus from him to Rob. However, due to his nature, ADF is never calm and rational during peaceful moments. So in other words, he had the chance to redeem himself, and he completely fucked it up. After he moved to Portland, he claimed to have dissociated identity disorder due to having a tulpa. That's like an imaginary thing, I think it is, and being aware of its personality. Most pointed out that he is a hypocrite and doesn't have that disorder, since people with DID are not aware of their other personalities. Yeah, it's like a multiple personality disorder sort of thing. I'm not. Oh god, there's a bunch of words I'm never going to say properly. Is that thing called? As the thing is called. Oh, that's the name of his tulpa. I'm pretty sure. It's just some shit that he made up. ADF was half-right about wanting to see a counsellor, since it is insane for a grown man to have an imaginary friend, but it's not DID. For those who are wondering how ADF's headmate personality differs from his own, is ADF finding new things to fact to. According to ADF, his tulpa was a Japanese neo-Nazi film who's also a violent scum cop. Okay, had his character existed outside of ADF's head, it would have been punted out of the police station and into the same unemployment line that ADF is in. However, ADF is not known to use logic. ADF first started to factor Nazis in September 2012. It was to no surprise that the DA Nazi drawing ADF Faptu were Chitelia drawings of characters in uniforms. To save face of years of comparing internet trolls to Hitler, and to continue to claim himself to be an arcanist communist, he used the headmate as an excuse. Also, ADF went back to his Japanese ways and continued to wish that he lived in the country where he could buy used little girls' panties from vending machines. Jesus Christ. When came the next steps to ADF becoming a full-blown Japanese? After a brief stint of trying to mimic the Amazing Atheist. God, remember when the Amazing Atheist used to be decent? I hardly watch him anymore. It's like I can't really get into his new stuff for some reason. He declared himself having converted to Shinto, understanding Shinto as much of a Pixelterry understands Japanese culture in general. ADF used a genetic explanation of what Shinto is, suggesting, like everything else, he only understands Shinto on a superficial level, due to the fact that he voices himself only once every 6 months. He is already breaking into the codes of Shintoism. Addy got fingered. Trigger warning. For ADF, 2015 started with a bang. A finger bang. Jesus Christ. ADF has been cruising an article, I still can't say that bloody word, clubhouse called the Long Hall for gay sex. He got lucky on the 20th of January 2015 when some drunken hobo mistakenly mistaken ADF for a BBW, lovingly caressed his torso and finger banged his rectum, fucking hell, and gave his unwashed stinky hide a golden shower. Jesus Christ, he's into some kinky shit, isn't he? The proud feminist monarchist and anarchist can't be seen to be enjoying the company of cis white men, so when it comes to his sexual escapades were discovered, he did what a feminist would do in the situation, cry the R word, and did a very visible protest. But as you can see from the picture below, no one can give a shit. Given that ADF has a long-standing R fantasy and is a compulsive liar, we're sure he did it for attention again. He's probably right. Oh, in case you didn't notice, ADF considers himself a man-hating Latina now, so he would steal the username Argel from a disgusting tranny who was killed because he had his penis and trapped men to fuck him. There we go. Spooked by Kiwi Farm. As ADF faded from the collective memory of the internet, the autists at Kiwi Farm still kept track of all the dumb things in his newly minted anarchist translator said on Facebook. By the way, he has literally zero Latin ancestry. His father is a wop. And it was found out that ADF is homeless again and was literally living under a bridge. He's a big troll. Okay, he's a little troll goblin then. Spent his days downvoting all police department and fancied himself as a bicycle rider, despite being too fucking fat and lazy to ride a bike. Eventually, dear Chainramon knew his gig was up when taking a page from Bretna Rue playbook. He imagined he was being hunted by cis-male MRA Gamergate operatives and threatened violence. Yet he pussied out immediately when he found out a short video footage of himself on the train. His violent fantasies gave place to suicide threats, which he made at a frequency of about 4 times a day, and earned himself a lot of aspats from his social justice warrior friends. What's more, he threatened to sick the police on his imagined cyberbullies. Never mind. He just gave every police department in the state a thumbs down. Oh dear. He was also a connoisseur for the ugliest nonsense tattoos and ever-growing collection, all paid for by the taxpayers, like you, of course. This is presented for your viewing pleasure. Notice his greasy, diseased skin. Assassination attempts by Gamergate. God, remember Gamergate? I think it's going to happen again. No trainee can resist the allure of Gamergate drama, and Harel is no exception. However, decided to take the Bretton route of claiming the Gigi are trying to literally assassinate and kick up the nukes. Yet he tried to claim that they attempted to kill him in a drive-by. The kicker is there is no intersection of any roads labelled 50th and Telegraph, meaning that the drive-by never even happened. The police scanner transmissions from the area even confirmed that there was no gunshots reported in the immediate area However, supposedly lived in, and rarely alleged drive-by occurred, meaning yet again he is blaming something he hates, hoping to get feels. Even if a drive-by happens, it wouldn't be the work of the MRAs, Conservatives or Gamergate, just a bunch of thugs getting involved in their typical turf warfare over which rundown building belongs to them. That happens a lot in Baltimore, by the way. It tends to happen a lot, and in Portland, obviously, because it's Portland. It's a shithole, and the chances are most of the thugs have no interest in killing a white tranny communist with pink hair who thinks he's a Latino. What Phil did not foresee is that his assassination has put him in a Hamlet escape, a double bind. No one would take him seriously if he just let it slide, but if he reported it, he would be seen as a dirty snitch by his police-hating, uncaged friends. Phil chose the dumbest way out. Vacated the story until even a retard could see if it's a lie. Eventually, Phil admitted to making up shit in a private Facebook message sent to his retarded arsepatters. He's going, "Heads up, people! I'm going to make fake status saying that someone opened fire on me at the." Yeah, in other words, he's trying to scare the Kiwi farmers. In other words, it's pointless. Pictures. We got the pictures right here. Being a lazy fuck, ADF uses Bitstrip to make stupid propaganda comics in which is a thin, good-looking young girl. Remember that fucking program? It was shit. Websites. His latest Tumblr. His current YouTube account is NewDA page. His archive of ADF videos. His Facebook. Let me see if some of these, like, I just want to see his YouTube account and stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is this video is very, very familiar. Like we all seen this, but yeah, like 12 years ago that was on there. This Facebook, oh holy shit, it's up. I thought this sort of thing would be down. Okay, all right, I didn't know he still existed, but yeah, he's still, like, let's see, agitator at Antifa. Antifa at Kiwi Farms Watcher, Trans Latinx Freedom Fighter at Expo Hispania del Oregon. You know, fucking hell. And he's got a scam page as his website. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and yeah, I don't think he uses this much really. See also, first world problems. This is what ADF's problems all boil down to. Trolled injuries, transgenderism syndrome. Dear cis people, tranny lolcow I dislike. Cis people, hypocrisy, baby crybaby, thin skin, left-hard, retard Philly, Portland, ADF article about his early antics, which we already covered. Fat hipster, neurotard, Robert Rain Stulls, ADF's IRL friend and lolcow colleague. Assigned male. Webcomic about an 11-year-old tranny ADF is a fan of. ADF is a part of a series on DeviantArt, lolcow board, social justice, part of a series on Goose, and this was last edited in January of last year. So yeah, let me just bring it up here, and that was another long video. Not gonna lie, it's like 45 minutes. I think it's exactly the same length as the last video I did on this person. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow I'll be having a Encyclopedia Dramatica. I already did that. A GeoGuessr video. I'll be doing it on Disneyland Paris, and after that I'll be doing a lolcow video on Saturday and a fortnightly recap on Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.